Welcome to step 23. Formally, this is the last step in the building. I've had a little bit of time since the last episode to go over stuff. I got some direction from the guy I'm building this for, so the road wheel stations on the trailer will all be attached and the wiring attached, so I'll be doing an addendum episode for that. And I started working on the wire, and essentially what I've done, and I think the easiest way to go about this, is you take and measure out this length right here, for example. In this case, it doesn't really matter either side, but you measure out this length right here, and then I took something really small. In this case, it's something that I bought with an alligator clip on the end, but it's just a really thin stick. This is about maybe 2 millimeters. Yeah, it's roughly maybe just a little over 2 millimeters in total diameter. But I went in, I counted the number of rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. It doesn't really matter. And then I went in and, holding this down by the side, I just wrapped it around the 10 times and a half. And you can see that even though I did, it doesn't stay super tight. The wire tends to spring out. So you get that kind of natural spring to it, like so. And you end up with your wire. You can cut that to fit as needed. Here's where it's going to be going on to the cab. And I did the same thing with the blue. So you've got those. I would wait until the very end to do that. I was talking about the glad hands before with the truck. I want to bring this up here. So what I didn't know is, although they're not as well represented as they could be, the glad hands on the military truck are a little bit different than a civilian truck. So I still think that this is incorrect, and I haven't been able to find a photo yet specific to these glad hands. But just so you're aware, there are a number of different types of glad hands out there. There's some that have protective framing and that. So instead of just taking my word for it, if you're going to build the truck or the trailer separate and not connected together with the air hoses, then I would suggest that you go online and look for pictures of the glad hands, how they are on the trailer and how they look on the ends of the hose, so that you can make it look accurate. And it might even be different, because like I had said in the previous videos, with these trailer ramps, there are at least 3 different patterns for those trailer ramps. And there's different ways that people are connecting the chains on here to the ramps. So with that in mind, I suggest looking at references to get right what you want to get right. Excuse me. As far as this goes, this is the 1 millimeter wire, the thicker wire, and they're asking you to use this. All I'm doing is taking this and using this as a template right here. As such. And just bending it kind of the way that they have it bent on here. Now, I'm not too worried about being specific on this. What they're trying to do is get you a piece of hose and stuff that is roughly correct, so that you don't have to do all this bending while you are putting the hose onto the truck. But as you can see, things don't want to necessarily bend and stay bent in a in a round way and how things are going. So I'm not gonna personally worry too much about keeping this bent proper. I'm worried about making this roughly the right size, and you've got some extra here in case you mess it up or feel that you mess it up anyway. So there's that right there. I didn't measure out the 39 millimeters that it says that it is, because I don't think that that is going to make as much of a difference with this. Now there is a bend on here, and that's what's important to note. So right here at the end, so you get that three-dimensional look to it, like that. And you go from there. And that part, again, gets hooked up on the truck down here and then runs across, and that's what goes into the center. I'll bring this back again carefully. Goes onto this centerpiece right in here. That's how it gets connected. And again, in real life, if this were disconnected, this hangs on the truck. This hose, the red and the blue hose, all this stuff hangs with the power unit, not with the trailer. So look forward to a episode dealing with attaching these units without the tires and what I've done for wiring it up and doing that. And then I will do a final overview on the whole kit, the tractor, the trailer, all the parts, where I'm at as I'm sending it off. And we'll go from there. See you then.